So I've just come back from Finale Ligure where SRAM have just launched their new drivetrain called EX1, which is dedicated for e-mountain bikes. According to SRAM, a lot of their bike customers with e-bikes in their range approach them having issues with the transmissions, their chains braking and things like that, and asked SRAM if they could come up with a way of solving all these problems. Their answer was EX1. This new drivetrain from SRAM has a big focus on the cassette, which is pretty different to any other cassette you'd find on your trail bike or your cross-country bike, for example. So I caught up with Henrik from SRAM while I was out in Finale just to find out how it all works.
I'm Henrik Breed. I'm with the SRAM Advanced Development Group, and with the EX project I was responsible for the development of the cassette and the integration of all the components. The development process began with a huge amount of data acquisition, because it is obvious that we have different loads than with the current standard drivetrain application. But what we found soon is that it is not only a matter of loads, but even more important, the riding style that has just changed because of the additional motor support. So for example, the acceleration is bigger, the shifting gets quicker, and under higher load, especially to the outboard. It was pretty early in the project clear that it's not enough to just upsize single components, just make single components like 50% stronger, because for example the outboard shift I just mentioned, it's up to 300% higher loads outboard, and it's happening far more often, and that's something we cannot control anymore with just upsizing components. So for the shifting technology, the outboard shifting forces are far higher. The speed of shifting is far higher. So that's why we did the big steps that you can shift quick enough to follow that acceleration. But still you have these huge forces just going down. So the innovation about this cassette really is that the chain can only sit on every cog in one specific way. So this one would be the wrong way. So that's why you have these correction teeth, and it automatically then skips to the correct way. This is the intended position, and then all the features for the inboard shift or the outboard shift are perfectly designed only for this link position. They can be more pronounced and have no compromise to deal with both link positions. Of course, if you always have perfect shifts, which you have 99.5% of the times, you never have to use the correction teeth. What we found out with durability is it's very much dependent on the riding situation. So especially on aggressive riding, where you have a lot of shifting, the increase in durability is really big, because with the shifting technology, the shifting doesn't cause stress to the drivetrain, and additionally you don't shift as much because you don't need to shift as much. For me personally, it's just much more fun to ride. As soon as you get adapted to the possibility of these full load shifts, you use it. You don't take back load when you shift, you push hard, and this really it's great fun, and it really gives a boost if you shift outboard, and not like it turns back the motor load if you have a bad shift or something with the standard drivetrain. This happens because the outboard shifts are never 100% controlled.
So after speaking to Henrik, I got to ride the bike for a couple of days out in the hills in Finale, and although I can't really comment on durability as such, I was really impressed with firstly the gear steps. I thought it was great under acceleration, and also the way I could shift under power, just hammering the shifter while going uphill, really putting a load of strain on everything, and it seemed to work absolutely fine. Once or twice I could feel the chain slightly out of sync with the cassette, and just how the correction tooth realigns it and sits it back on the sprocket correctly. It doesn't really feel major, but it is noticeable, I guess. But yeah, once we've got a bike with EX1 on, we'll give you a full update later down the line.